Good afternoon to you. Good day to our online audience. So before we start, I'd like to apologize for a slight delay. We're having some technical issues, so we apologize for the inconvenience. So without wasting much of our time, today is another day of learning, and it promised to be insightful. It promised to be very educative and insightful. So today we'll be continuing from where we stopped last week. So we started the Linux Administrator series. And in our last session, we went through understanding the basics of Linux, what Linux is, what open source is, and also we run through installation. So today we are going to deep dive into Linux Essential. So we're doing more of writing commands and working with file system. So I like to bring in Latifah to speak about this stage. Hi Latifah.
Hello, I'm good.
Day.
Good day.
Yeah. So I believe you are ready for us.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, okay. All right.
Hey, can you see my screen?
I believe so.
The slides. All right. So, good afternoon, audience. Good day, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening if you're watching us from outside Nigeria. So today we'll be going through essential Linux commands. But briefly, let me show us some things regarding the boot up process. So we're done with installation of Linux, and after booting, we can talk of the simple boot process. So when you power on your system, it loads from the BIOS and all of that. The bootloader comes up, the kernel initializes, and also the RAM initializes also. So basically, the unit system also initializes, and then you get this user login page, and that is what I have here. I don't know if everyone can see my screen. Hello, moderator. Can you confirm if you can see my Ubuntu virtual machine? Hello.
So we can see your screen, but not your machine.
All right. All right. We can see this now, right?
Yes.
So basically, this is the user login page, or the user login window rather. So if you can remember the last time when I was installing this VM, this my Ubuntu as a virtual machine on VirtualBox, there was a stage where we set the username and also the password, the user and the password. So I want to put in the password now. And we have the desktop environment of Ubuntu. So let me just come back to my slide quickly here. So basically we have a console, a virtual terminal, and also a terminal emulator. We're going to see all this. Now we want to talk about the essential Linux commands. So as a Linux system administrator, or as someone that will be using Linux for his or her day-to-day activities, there are some commands that you will always use. You cannot do without those commands. These are not just the commands that we have on the Linux operating system. There are thousands of commands, but these are the basic ones. That's why I titled this chapter Essential Linux Commands. These are the essential ones that you can never do without. So firstly, we talk about the file and directory operation commands. So while now I am on my system and I will click this show applications. Are we all with me? Moderator, I believe you can see my virtual machine Ubuntu, right? Hello?
Yes, I can see your machine.
Alright, so I'll click on show all applications and I'll click on terminal. And the terminal comes up. You know, as a Linux system administrator or a Linux geek, you need to know how to use the terminal very, very well. And because of this, I'll be putting my terminal on this taskbar. I'll be pinning it to the taskbar so that I will only see it. Now, the first command we have here is the ls command. The ls command which lists the directory. But before that, okay, no problem, let's do that. Ls, it will list our directory for us. It will list the things in this current directory for us. We have desktop, downloads, pictures, snap, videos, documents, and all of that in our in our current terminal. But we can also try to know which terminal we are on currently. What command do we use to do that? We use pwd, which is short for print working directory. So I am in my home directory, the home directory of the current user. I believe we all understand that. I'm in the home directory of the current user. So after that, we move to another command.
Hi Latif, can you increase the fonts so people on the live stream can see vividly actually?
Okay. There's a way to increase the font of this. I'm coming.
What's the command to increase fonts?
No, I had to come back to my file here, and for some reasons, just give me a minute. So I've done this before on my primary operating system, but I think this is it. Is it any way better now? No, it's not.
No.
All right.
Or maybe you can do full screen mode.
I've done that before, and it's still the same size. It just make this take my entire screen. There's a way I do it on my primary operating system. I'm coming. Actions. View.
Can you use Control Plus to see if it works?
No, that will not work. I don't think. Let me see. It's not working. So you mean you cannot see the what's it called? The texts on this terminal normally?
Can see, but it's quite small for the sake of people watching online.
Has anyone complained? I'm trying to check the way I did it before on my main operating system.
So for instance, right, when you ls and
Go on.
okay, so when you ls, I can't see the list of files or directories that you have, right? But I can only see a blue color. So
All right.
okay, I think we can move on. People say they can. I think some people say they can see, so we can move on.
Okay. I'm coming. So I'll increase it now. I'll try to increase it now. All right. I think with this, I can go on. We should be able to see it now.
Yeah, this is a lot better now.
So, like I was saying, we can. Why can't I see my casts? We can always do more things on our command. So, when I do ls, we'll have this, and I said ls is to list the contents of your current directory. List the contents of the current location where you are. Now, but where are we? We will use pwd, which is print working directory, to know the current directory where we are. We are in the home directory of the current user. You know my current user is Sari. Now, we can decide to change our directory to, let's say, the downloads folder or the documents folder. To change directory, we use the shortcut cd documents. Can we all see that my directory has changed to documents? Hello?
Yes, we are with you. Yeah, we are following. Yeah, it has changed to documents. You can see.
All right. So the next command we can explore is what? Sorry, give me a minute. All right. The next command, pwd, I've already mentioned that. Right? I've talked about pwd, and that's the next command we have there. So the other command we can explore now is mkdir, make directory. We are in the documents directory. I would like to go back to my home directory. How do I go back? Before I talk about make directory, I'll type cd and I'll type dot, two double dots, dot dot. That is go back one directory. Are you with me? I'm back to my home directory. If I do pwd, I am still in my home directory. I believe you are with me, right?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
CD desktop. I want to go to my desktop my desktop, and I'm in my desktop directory. Now we want to make a directory in the desktop. Directory for Windows user directory is simply a folder. So mkdir is to make directory. Make a folder for me in my desktop. What do we call this folder? Let's just say mkdir test. And when I come to my desktop, I'll see a directory, a folder test. I believe we can all see this. So the next command is to remove files and directories. Well, I don't think I have any file here because this is purely a fresh virtual machine which I've not really worked on. So that would take me to talking about a command that I don't think is listed here, but it will be listed in the next slide. So let's just do let's cd into our test directory. Cd test. We're in our test directory. It's empty. That's why if I type ls to view what is in the test directory, nothing comes up. But I'll talk about touch. Touch is a command to create an empty file. So I'll do touch demo.txt. If we do ls, we'll see demo.txt file there, and it is empty, right? It is empty. Now, I want to put some text into this demo directory. I can use, it is very important that the audience follow me because I'm sorry, and I'm using some commands that are not in this first directory, but I can't even remember if they are in this other in the other slide. Now I want to talk about other command now, so that I can actually put a content in a file and try to remove it and probably copy files and all of that. Because from my slide here, if you can see my slide, I have remove a file, the rm command which removes files, and the cp command which can remove files and directories. So let me simply put something in this our demo.txt file. I'll use the nano editor. There are several text editors in Linux. For Windows users, you may be familiar with Notepad, Notepad++, Sublime Text, and all of that. But now we want to talk about Nano. There are other high-level editors like Vim, and we may not get to Vim today. But let's quickly use Nano to put some text in our demo.txt. There are other ways to do that, but let's use this first. And inside my demo.txt file, I'll just type some number text. This is a Linux class. We are studying for a Red Hat certified system administrator certification. So I'll use Ctrl X to go out of this editor, and the editor asks me if I want to save. I'll type yes and OK. So now we have that. How do I check the contents of this directory before I try to remove, the contents of this file, before I try to remove the file? Or I'll use cat. This command may be in the next slide, but don't worry. Demo.txt. I want to check the contents. You can see this is what I typed, right? Moderator, we are with me, right?
Yes, we are.
All right. Now, let's use touch to create another file. Touch text.txt. So we have another file here. Now, on our slide, we have rm, which is a command to remove files and directories. I'll do rm test.txt. This will remove this file. If we do ls again to check the contents of our current directory, we can see that test is no longer there, right? Now, but there are other ways to use rm. We can use rm to actually remove a directory. how do we do that? To start with, let me come back to this other terminal here. I will see it into my desktop. Aha. For my audience, if I want to go into a directory and I want to be fast, as techies, we need to know how to do things fast. When I type the first two or the first letter of that directory, of that folder, I'll hit my tab key, and it should auto-complete or bring up suggestions for similar names of directories in that my current directory. Now, I'll create another folder, mkdir. I'll call it class. I'll go to my new directory. We can see it's empty. I'll quickly create some files in it. I'll use the touch command to create some files in it. Touch tests.txt space. I want to create more than one file. New. Let's not give it an extension. Space demo. We should have all these files in my current directory. You can see that, right? Now, I will go back one step. I want to show us how to remove files. So how to remove directories and its content using the rm command. cd dot to go back one step. ls. Now, we have the class directory and the test directory in our desktop, right? And if you want to verify that, you can always go back to your directory, to your desktop, the GUI, and view that. Now, this is it. I'll come back to, okay, I am currently in my desktop directory. I want to remove class, the class folder or directory, and the contents inside it. I'll do rm, and I'll type class. You will see that this will throw an error for me. Why? Because the folder or the directory I want to remove, it's not empty. It has several things inside of it. To my audience, can we all see this? It says cannot remove class because it is a directory. So this tells you that if you want to remove a directory, you don't just specify rm. Rm simply is to remove files. But if you want to use rm command to remove directories, you have to add several flags. We call them flags. They are arguments that you add to your commands. Although there is a command to simply remove a directory once. The command is rmdir, but let's explore our rm directory more. So to remove my class directory, I'll do rm-r, which means recursively remove things that are inside that class directory. This should remove everything I have there, but at times it may not remove it if probably my current user doesn't have the right to remove that file, because we have the root user and we have other users. The root user is the administrator user for Linux users, for Windows, those that are on Windows, just like your administrator on Windows, that is the root user. So if you have a file that is owned by, let's say, someone else, or that is owned by the root user in this directory, this will throw an error, but I don't have a file that is owned by someone else, I believe. So this should remove the contents of that directory for me. But how else can I remove? So, okay, now let's explore that my class that is just to confirm that the class is no longer there. So I'll do ls. You can see class is no longer there. But assuming there's a file in class directory that is not owned by savvy user, it will throw an error. In that case, I may have to force remove that file also using rm-rf. But that is by the way. So we've talked about rm command, and I would like to quickly explore rmdir. So I'll quickly create another directory, cd class. Let's just do class again. Sorry, mkdir class. We have class directory. So rmdir should remove this class directory. We can see it's no more there. So if you don't want to use rm-r to remove a directory, or rm-rf to remove a directory, that's a folder, you can still use rmdir, then you specify the name of the directory and the directory will be removed. If it throws an error for you, you can add the -r flag or -rf flag. So we have the cp command to copy files and directories. Now I have my test file, my test directory. I'm inside my test directory. I'll have a demo.txt file, right? I want to copy it to, let's say, my downloads folder. That is my downloads directory. I'll do cp demo.txt. Since I am inside the directory where the file is located, I'll do cp demo.txt. Then I'll now try to specify my downloads folder. How do I specify my downloads folder? It is simple. I'll do this tilde sign. This is called a tilde sign, tilde. Let's come to this other terminal that I have. This is my second terminal here. I'll clear my screen. So to clear your screen, you feel like there are lots of things you've done and you want to have a better view of your screen, you type the clear command. I think it's CLS for on Windows, on command prompt on Windows, but it is clear on Linux. So this clears my directory. So I want to, now if I want to come back to my home directory, to my audience, we are inside my test directory, which is located inside the desktop directory. I can do this. I'll type cd ::/ because I know that, sorry, not : cd .. This will take me to my home directory. I'm going 2 steps backward, and now we're in my home directory. Whenever I see this tilde sign and dollar, we know that, and the dollar symbol, we know that I'm in my home directory. If I print this directory pwd, it displays the home directory of the current user. Now, we know we have downloads folder here. So I want to go into my downloads. I want to copy this file to my downloads folder. I will do cp demo.txt / downloads, because I know that my download, is it download or downloads? Downloads. My downloads folder is inside my home directory, and the tilde sign tells me that this tilde sign is for my home directory. Mind you, directories are case what's it called? On Linux, the terminal is case sensitive. So anything you specify with a case, you must always use that case. Now, the downloads directory here, we can all see that it is capital letter D, and most of these directories are all capital letter D except the snap. So we need to specify that with a capital letter D. So I want to copy this demo.txt file to my downloads directory. I'll do cp demo.txt / downloads. This has copied my demo.txt file into the downloads directory. We can verify that by coming back to this terminal and we cd into the downloads directory. I'll do ls. We can see that, right? So what else? We can move all the main files and directories using the move command. Okay, let's quickly explore how we can copy a directory. I want to copy my test directory. I'll do cp test, but okay, let's do this first. It's going to make error, so that for the sake of our audience, cp test / downloads /downloads. This should throw an error because my test directory is not empty. We can all see this. We have to specify the -r flag, which is for recursive. Recursive means that it should copy that directory, including everything that is inside. Now it did not copy this directory because it's not empty. Assuming it is empty, it will have copied it, but because it's not empty, I have to specify -r flag. So I will specify -r. I will have this, no more errors. And when I come here and I check the contents of my downloads directory, I will have both the demo file and the test file. And for those of you that want to verify that by the GUI, you can always come here and when you check your downloads directory, you see everything that we'll be playing around with. So moving on, we want to move all names files. Note, MV is used for two things on Linux. It is used for moving files and also for renaming a file. We'll explore moving a file. Now, I want to move this file to my documents directory. I want to move my demo.txt file to my documents directory. mv demo.txt. Don't forget to put your tilde sign because those directories are all in the home directory of the current user /documents. This should move my demo.txt file into my documents directory. If I come to this terminal and try to verify, /documents, you can see demo.txt file is here. We can use this to move folders too, similar to the way we use CP to move folders. Now let's quickly explore how we can use move to rename a file or a directory. I am in my, okay, now I've moved my demo.txt file. I'll come back to this directory where it is. I want to rename this demo.txt file to, let's say file.txt. I'll use mv demo.txt and I'll specify the new name. If you are in the current directory where that file is located and you do this move, you specify the new name. What do I want to use again? File.txt. This will change the name of this file from demo.txt to file.txt. ls, you can see the name has changed. The name has been changed from demo.txt to file.txt. So in the same vein, you can move directories and also rename directories with the move command. Now we want to use the find command to search for files and directories. Well, find is rarely used though by some administrators, but it can be very useful. Let's say I am in my home directory and I want to look for file.txt. I type find file.txt. It is not there. Yes, because we are not in that directory. But let's assume we have thousands of, let's say hundreds of files in my documents directory. I'll go back to my documents directory. Let's say we have thousands of files here. I want to look for a file named file.txt. My audience, don't worry, we'll explore more on this find command in our coming class, in the coming weeks, because it is very, very useful if you want to look for files in a directory, such that in that directory there are lots of files. So if you want to simply find or know whether this file.txt is in this directory, you just use this and it will tell you that it is there. So that is just a brief overview of find command, but a lot of things you can do with it. Let's move to our next slide. On our next slide, we have text file operations. That is text file operation commands. And one of the commands we will explore here is the cat command. And I've used the cat command here, if we are following along. So I think my file.txt, is it empty? It's not empty, I believe. So if I want to check the contents of a directory, we use cat, C-A-T, file.txt. You can see this is the first file that I created, and I simply put this random text. There's another way to put a random text in a file. We use cat, we specify this append symbol, I will type the name of the file. Let me just play another file, new.txt. We can see that the terminal held my cursor. It is waiting for me to type what I want to put inside my new.txt file. So let's just say this is a new file for our Linux class. And when I'm done with that, even if I type enter, the terminal will still hold my cursor. So to exit out of that, I'll just type Ctrl C and I'm out of that. Remember, this is now a new file in my current directory. I'll look at new.txt. You can see this. So that is another way to put to input text in a file. If you don't want to use the nano editor, maybe simply because the file, the text you want to input is very small. So we have explored cat. So the next command is more. The more command, it displays contents of a file one page at a time. This will be very, very useful. I have a file that have lots of contents, but I don't have a file that have lots of contents. I think I have one here. I can go into a directory actually. Sorry, let me quickly explore this, my audience. So there are several files. If I want to, okay, let's try to cut a file that says, that is, want to display the content of a file where the name of the users, including system users, because we have system user and we have normal user on Linux. Let's simply cut that file. The file is located in a directory called /etc, the etc directory. Mind you, my audience, my slash directory is the root directory. Let's go there first. CD slash. This is my root directory. If I do print working directory, you will see several things, several directories that are peculiar to the root user and that Linux use to do several things that they do under the hood. For example, we'll see the etc directory where configuration files are saved. Sorry, ls. We'll see the bin directory. We can see the etc directory, that's etc directory. We can see the 64 directory. We can see several other directories. We see swap file, we see var directory, and all of that. Now, back to what I wanted to do. I want to check the content of my etc and pass wd directory. This is a directory that where users, system users, and normal users are saved. Details about them are saved. We can all see this. This is my savvy user. That is my current user. And briefly, I'll briefly explain this, and in the coming weeks we'll get to know better what this means. The first column here is savvy. That is the name of the user. The X here simply tells us that it's a user. This 1000 and the other 1000 is the UID of the user and its group. It belongs to the group savvy because automatically whenever you create a new user on Linux, a group with the same name of that user is automatically created. The home directory of the user is /home/savvy, and the default shell, because there's something we call shell SHELN on Linux. Default shell of this user is /bin/bash. If I to explore these other users, many of these other users are system users. That is users that the system automatically creates when I firstly installed Linux. For example, we can see this geoclue user. We can see it has the shell /usr/sbin/no login. The no login here means that it is just a system user. that Linux used to do its things under the hood that we don't know about. So we can actually create a no login user also, maybe for running a Linux server, and we need a user to manage, let's say, one of our file servers also. Now, let's say I want to see the content of this directory. I'm sorry, I'm coming. cd/etc. Alright, I want to see the contents of my passwd directory one page at a time, because we can also see that we could not see everything at a time. So we can use more, the more command. We type more passwd. We can see this is the first page. I believe we can also see this is the first page, and if I want to see more pages, I use the space. Yes, I use the space. I typed what's it called, space, on my keyboard, and it will show me several other pages. I believe we are all following, my audience. Alright, so that is more. Less, it will display the contents of a file from the bottom, and it will allow you backward navigation, that's from the end of the file to the beginning. Let's quickly explore that. Less passwd and we can see it displayed this. So that is basically the function of the less command. When I want to exit out of that, I press Q. The next command we want to explore is the head. It displays the head and the tail. Head displays the first few lines of a file. So if I type head passwd, you see display the first few lines. So this will be useful, let's say we want to quickly explore some things in the file. So the next command now, tail. Tail is similar to head, but it displays the last few lines. We can see the last few lines here. You know, Sabi was the last line when I first cut this file, the passwd file. Sorry, passwd is also used to change a password, and I don't want to change the password there, so I have to just exit that. So now we want to explore the grep command. So grep is simply a file, a command that is used for searching through files. It is called global regular expression print. So that is the full name of grep, global regular expression print. It will search input files for a search string, and it will print the lines that match that file, those lines. For example, if I want to, let's say I want to print out lines in this directory. Let's say I want to print out all lines that have this. This is what I want to do now. I'm coming in a jiffy. Let's say I want to print all lines containing the string. I want to print all lines containing the string free desktop.accounts followed by, on the same line, followed by the string service unknown. This is very useful for Linux system administrator. Let's say there's a troubleshooting they want to do. For example, there's a problem and they want to quickly check for something. We want to print all lines having this free desktop.accounts and service unknown on the same line. Now, I'm supposed to do that just so that I can use this. How do I do this? There's a directory called /var/log/user.log. Let's say I'm doing some troubleshooting and I want to know some things about why a user is having a problem with logging in or so. So we'll go to this directory /var/user /var/log/user.log. Alright, this directory is not currently present on, for some reasons on Ubuntu is not present, but on my primary operating system Kali it is present. So why is it not present here? Alright, let's try to grep for, if for example I'm working on a file. Let's go back to our other file. I am in my root directory. I want to go to my home directory. I'll type cd and the tilde sign. I'm in my home directory, the home directory of my current user. So I want to check, I want to go to my documents. I know I have a file there. Now, I want to grep for the word read. I want to check for the word read in my file.txt. I'll do grep file.txt. Sorry, grep ls file.txt, type grep read. It's not there. Seems like we don't have that here. Let me cut this. Sorry. I made a mistake, my audience. Grep for read in file.txt. We can see we have read here and it's highlighted red because I want to look for the word read in my file.txt file. Now, I wish to show us this, but there are several ways grep can be used. Let me quickly explore something. That is a simple way grep can be used. You just type grep. Let's say you want to check if you have the word is in the file.txt. But I wanted to show us an advanced way of using the grep command. Let's try to explore grep more. I'll do grep for the word savvy in my /etc/passwd directory, where I told us that it has contents of the current user, including other system users, details about them, including high-level details about them that Linux system administrators use for their day-to-day tasks. So you can see my savvy user with several details about it. So we'll explore that more in our coming lectures. So the sed command is a stream editor for filtering and transforming text. If, for example, we want to, and it's also used for search and replace. If, for example, we want to replace the word class with session in our file.txt, I will simply come to my file.txt directory. I'll simply come to the directory where my file.txt is located, that is my documents directory, and I'll do sed. I'll use this single apostrophe. I'll put s. I'll do slash g. This is search and globally replace the word class. It's no longer I use this command, but let's see if I can still remember this. Alright, there's a mistake here. Sed colon slash s slash class, I think this is it, g file.txt. I think it has replaced the word. We want to replace the word class with the word session, right? Let's cut our file.txt once again. Cut file.txt. Alright, sed slash g slash class, then I specify the word I want to replace class with, session slash. I hope this works. There's a mistake here, but we can explore the use of sed a lot more. And after this, let me quickly introduce a command to us, man, that we'll meet in our next slide. The man command is the short word for manual. That I want to check what a command does, and I'll quickly check more about sed. Probably I can remember how it is very used. It is being used. It's no longer used it. I'll type man sed, not manual. Man sed, and it will display for me what sed is used for. So to my audience, if you are in such a situation, or you come across a new command and you don't know what it is used for, and you want to try to explore it, you can quickly use man, or maybe you forgot what the command does. Just like I'm trying to use sed now, and it seemed like I'm making a little bit some mistake with it. So you simply use man to check what the sed command does, and we can actually check for some things. Let me do this. Okay, we have so many flags here. Dash E add the script to the command, and we have other things. So sed is simply a stream editor for filtering and transforming text. We'll explore it more probably in our coming classes. Now we'll move to system information command. So if you are on another system and you want to know what kind of system are you on, what is the kernel version of the system. I talked about kernel in our last class. It is the lowest layer of the operating system that interacts with our hardware. So I'll use uname. If I type uname simply, it will print information about my system for me. Simply, it prints the name of my operating system, which is Linux. If I want to know more about my system, I can use uname dash R. That is, I'll specify a flag dash R. This prints my kernel version for me. And if I simply want to explore what uname does, I'll type man uname. So uname, it prints system information. If I want to see everything about the system, I'll specify the flag dash A. If I want to see, let's say, the kernel release dash R, the kernel version dash V. So simply I'll do uname dash A. It prints everything about my system for me. Linux, Savvy, it's a virtual box, Savvy virtual box, that is I'm running this operating system on VirtualBox. It prints the kernel version for me and all of that. But this doesn't tell me. Okay, we can see Ubuntu. We can see the kernel version. We can see Ubuntu. We can see the, what's it called? We can see that it's a 64-bit system. And we can see that we can see so many things about this. Now, there's another way to check this, and that is by trying to print the content of a file located in my /etc directory. My etc directory, well, I've always told us that it is the directory for configuration files. You can find configuration files in my etc directory. So I'll cut this file. I'll cut /etc/os release. This will print the name of my, that is it should print for me and tell me the information about my current operating system. You can see it prints for me that I'm using Ubuntu 22.04 long-term evolution. Ubuntu, the version is 20.04. There are older versions of Ubuntu. There's 20.04 and all of that. And I think Ubuntu recently released 23.04 if I'm not wrong. And this is what's it called? An acronym, or what's it called? It is dubbed. There's a way. There's a simple word for this, which I can't quickly remember now. Just like, how will I say it now? For example, we know Android versions have other small names. So this Ubuntu version is dubbed Jammy Jellyfish. That is version code name. It's even written here. So this prints for me several details about my operating system. So there's a simple way to do this. Also, I'll do cat etc/ and I'll use this. I'll type star release and I'll put star at the end. This is just like a globing to print for me this, and it prints everything relating to release for me. This is a globing. We'll explore this in our coming class. This star and the star at the end is simply a globing. So now we move forward. The who command displays information about the currently logged in user. So if I type who, it tells me this user that is currently logged in, Savvy, and it tells me that I'm using the terminal, the TTY tool, that is the terminal, virtual terminal tool, and it prints my date and my time for me. df, we're coming to more interesting commands. The df is a command that is used to check for the free disk space that you have. That is, how much storage do I still have? My hard drive, how much space do I still have on my hard drive? So I'll type df. You can see it prints this, but this doesn't look beautiful, and I may really be able to read this for some of us. So to print this in a better way, for it to print it in a human readable command, in a human readable format, I do df-h, and this prints this properly for you, so you can read this. And this was displaying, the former command was displaying that information for me in megabytes, or in bytes rather, but this displays my information for me in megabytes. So you can see that we have several directories, and I have several information here. We have 20, we have this /dev/sd3 where my operating system is currently, the mount point for my operating system. We get to know more about mount points in our coming classes. The size is 20 gig, and I've used 9.8 gig, and the available space I have is 8.3 gig. So this displays my disk, the free disk space that I have, and it also tells me about my mount points. I have the temporary the several temporary mount points, and have another mount point slash dev slash SDA2. So we have all this. We can see that my slash dev slash SDA3 directory that I told us that it is the mount point for my operating system itself. You can see that it is mounted on the root directory. And I told us that the root directory is the main directory for my root user. My service user, which is other users on my system, they also have a root directory. If I come to cd slash, this is my what's it called, my root directory of my service user. I cannot go into this root directory. Why? Because it is the directory for my root user. Now, if I want to remove everything on my Linux system, I want to render my Linux system useless, I'll do this command rm-rf/. This will remove. This command is very deadly, please. My audience, don't ever run this command because it is a very deadly command. It will remove everything on your system and render your system useless. Because you are specifying, you are telling Linux that you want to remove recursively, and you are forcing the remove -f there. -rf means recursive and also force. You're removing everything in your root directory. I believe you notice that when I print the files on my root directory, I believe you notice that I have my home directory there, and my home directory is the home directory of my current user, which contains documents, desktop, downloads, and the likes. So moving on, we'll now talk about du command. Du is disk usage. If I just type du,
please can you run that command? Let's see what happens.
The command to remove everything on your Linux operating system. Hello, moderator. All right. Well, this should remove everything on my this should remove everything on my system, but Linux has some protections under the hood that we don't know, so it may not work. -rf/. Why may this command not work? Because I'm not the root user. That's why this thing will not work. So I bet you that this command will not, because I'm not the current user. I'm not currently logged in as root. You can see it's saying it is dangerous to operate recursively on / directory, the root directory. rm use / no preserve root to override this failsafe. So if I use this flag -- no preserve root, it will override this, and it should delete everything for me. Moderator, can we move on, or you want us to try this? And we may stop here today if this removes everything for us.
Please don't try this at home.
Moderator, do you want us to do this? I'm good to go. This is not my.
Please.
It's not my natural operating. It's not my primary operating system. So we can actually try this, and we'll specify this flag. We specify the flag -- no preserve root, and everything should go. But it may not still go because I'm not the root. I'm not currently logged in as root. Now we move on. Du simply prints for me my disk usage. Du is for, so df, to my audience, df tells you your hard drive usage. It prints for you your hard drive usage. Why du prints for you the memory usage? That's your RAM. So it's simply du -h. Wow, I'm saying some things here that are absurd. I'm coming. File space usage. No, this is different. Why is it different on Linux, on Ubuntu? Okay. This is right. Now, du, it estimates file and directory space usage, and when you use the flag -h, It displays the information in a human readable format. To my audience, to check your RAM usage, sorry, this is a mistake from me. We are human. The RAM usage, I mentioned that DU is for RAM. No, it is not. For your RAM usage, use the free command. So it will tell you the free RAM, the free space you have on your RAM. So I want to print this in a human readable format. You can see that my total RAM usage is 3.8 gig, and I've used 715 megabytes, and I have 110 megabytes free and all of that. So there's something called swap, and I want to explain this for some of us that may want to tomorrow may want to install Linux as a primary operating system. You know, for this our class, we install Linux as a virtual machine. So swap space is a space that for this let me go back a little. For this our class, we did a virtual installation. That is, we install Linux, Ubuntu Linux on VMware, which makes our Linux a virtual machine. So when the installation was going on, Linux under the hood automatically creates a swap space of approximately 1 gig. That is now that's why we see this 123 megabytes for here. But when we want to do a primary OS installation, that we want to install Linux as our primary operating system, we need to specify swap. What is the essence of swap? Swap is simply a portion of our hard drive which Linux will be using as RAM, as memory, as RAM usage when the memory usage is becoming very high. That is, if Linux is consuming our RAM too much and the RAM usage is very high, it will now be using some parts of our hard drive as RAM, as memory. So that is the essence of swap. Simply, that's just a brief explanation of what this swap here means. So we told us that DU is to estimate the file usage, and I've explored that. So top, it will display system resource usage. This is what our top command display for us. We have the process ID, we have the user, we have these other informations. So this displays information about our system, and we can go down and see several other things about our top command. So a command that is also similar to top is the ps command, and I believe we'll explain it in our next slide. So ps simply prints this for us, but to better get what ps do, we put a flag dash AUX.
I was sorry. Someone
Yeah.
asked a question. So the question is shared on the screen. If I dual boot using my primary system and run the command, what happens? Does it remove everything on both partition or just the Linux partition?
It
You
removes.
understand the question?
Yes, I understand. He said if I dual boot using my primary system and run that command dash rf, that dangerous command that we're talking about, right? rm dash rf and slash, right? That is the person question, right, moderator?
Yes.
Right. So what happens? Does it remove everything on both partition or just the Linux partition? Before I answer this question, I always advise people not to dual boot their system, because dual boot has several issues. Why? Because you are sharing the same hardware every time for different operating system. You may have file system issues. You may have several issues. I'll tell you, when I was new to Linux about 5 years ago, dual booting caused me some problems. So I will never advise someone to dual boot his system. Instead, use virtualization. That is the essence of having VMware or VirtualBox. Dual booting has several issues. You may run into issues of maybe your what's it called? Your audio jack does not work. Maybe the date and time will not work, something like that. Now, to the question, it will not remove everything. It should only remove the things you have on your Linux operating system, on the Linux partition. So that's the answer to the question. It will remove just what you have on your Linux partition, not everything. I believe we can move on.
Yes, we can.
Because when you are rebooting, you specified a partition of your hard drive for your Linux operating system. So you should remove only the partition for the Linux. So I've talked of free and I've talked of top. So we'll move on. I believe I pray we are able to complete what we have for our class today, because there are other things we have not explored. So the next thing is process management commands. We have PS, we have kill all, we have pgrep, process grep, we have pkill, and we have nice. So I told us that PS will print, so we'll put the flag dash AUX so that we can see several informations about our system. But because this my font is very large, I cannot see everything clearly, but you can see a lot of things. So simply, while this is what going on, I'll open my Firefox browser so that we can see that Firefox is running. Well, for some reasons, Firefox is not coming up, but it should come up now. Okay, I can always open applications from my command prompt. So I'll type Firefox to bring it up. All right, it is up. So Linux gives you superpowers. You can always open. Let me just wait for this. You can always open applications from your command prompt by simply specifying the name of that application. Now, Firefox is open. Now, we want to explore the kill command. But before we do that, if I want to kill a process, I've talked about PS. Okay, PS. Let's do PS again so I will see that Firefox is running in this process stuff. We can see Firefox here, right? But if you don't want it to bring up all this for you, you can do a combination of the commands that we have used before. We do PS-AUX. Audience, remember we've used grep before to list contents of a directory. Sorry, to search for a particular file, to search for a particular line or word in a file, rather, to search for a particular line or to print and check for a particular word or group of words in a file. So we can do this. We can grep for Firefox since we don't want to display all this. So this displays for me the lines having Firefox. Now, I want to try to get the process ID of this. What was that command again? All right, ss turnlib. I want to show us something. Um, okay. Um, process ID. I think the process ID of Firefox should be this, because I want to show us. Um, I want to show us how we can kill a process without closing it up. This should be the process ID of Firefox. So we use the command kill dash p. Can't remember clearly. I'm coming. Man kill kill right, let's use process grep pgrep Firefox 5244. That's the process ID. So why is this not working? Kill probably there's something I'm missing. Okay, it has killed it. To the audience, we can see Firefox is no longer opened. So we can all try this. So simply to kill a process, that is to close that process, to close that application. You know, in Linux, even in Windows, when you open an application, a process runs at the background and the application comes up. You know, you will understand that. So we have a process ID for that application. So when I open my Firefox, the process ID is 5244 and I have it here. You can also check the process ID with pgrep. So just to kill it, that is to close the application, we type killing and we'll put the process ID 5224 and that kills the command. So we'll stop here for today. We'll continue next week. Any question from the audience?
Okay, we have a question, but I think this is still straightforward. So Emmanuel was asking if the experience on virtualization is the same as installing on the main system. So virtualization is a bit more simpler than running Ubuntu as your main OS. Or is it a main OS or a patch?
Moderator? Hello, moderator. Yes, I can hear you. I can see the question. Is the experience on the virtualization same as installing on the main system? No, it is not. Why is it different? Because one reason why the experience, well, I don't really know what I mean, but I understand what I mean by experience. Let me put it that way. The experience is quite similar and is basically probably the same, but it will still be different because you are not always using your virtual machine. You are always using your primary operating system. You are always using your primary operating system. So you will once a while open your virtual box and open or VMware workstation and open your Ubuntu your Ubuntu virtual machine. But in terms of usage, it is the same. In terms of usage, it is the same. Whatever you want to, whatever you do on your primary operating system, you can definitely do it on your virtual machine. Thank you for that statement, Mr. Emmanuel. I always advise people, if you want to be a Linux guru, if you really want to know Linux, you can see the way I'm dancing around the terminal. Linux just has to be your primary operating system. Try to ditch Windows, especially if it will not affect your work or affect your use of your system, because it gives you, it tends to help you a lot. You tend to know a lot of things. So try to install Linux as your primary operating system, Mr. Emmanuel. That is a very, very good step to take, and I encourage you to do that.
Yeah, and also when you are doing that, please do it with caution. So, like you said, if it is not going to affect your work, or you have a dedicated system that you want to play with, it is advisable that you run Linux as your main OS. But if it's going to affect what you do or your productivity, so you might have to just run a partition for a while. So on that note, I think we have come to the end of today's session.
There's
And
no
I
other
believe,
question.
no, that's the only question. So I believe we've learned a couple of commands that we can go back to play with, right? So I think, do we have the resources available so we can share on the group?
Sorry, moderator, which resource?
Like take back
Do
questions
you,
and answer.
okay,
The
questions for the
assignment,
audience.
the assignment,
Okay,
take home
all right,
assignments.
all right. I think I okay. A take-home assignment for my audience is that, okay. The first one is this. I'll type it here, so you type it for them. Um, they should explore the grep command more, and they should do this. Assuming you want to extract all lines containing the string, containing a particular string followed by another string, you necessarily have to be this string. You can type you can type you can get a file that has several lines, and you want to print out lines that have two different words following each other on the same line. So try to use the grep command and do this. I did not show us that today, so I'll send it to you, moderator, so that you can share with them. Sorry, use grep command to do this. That is one. But also share this with them. So what other assignments? I actually didn't prepare an assignment for them, but let's see. Um, okay, another assignment. Which command prints the kernel version for us? Or this is simply a question. Let's just see whether the audience is following us. A question to the audience: which command prints the kernel version Anyone in the audience that can answer that now, or they take it as an assignment? Anyone?
Okay, I feel they can take it as an assignment. We'll have to end the session now.
All right.
Time is fast spent. So yeah, thank you so much for another wonderful session. So for our online audience, this is a 8 week series, right? So we are meeting same time next week. We have more commands to explore, and we strongly believe that if you are consistent with this session, at the end of this Linux series, you should be comfortable with manipulating your Linux, so your Ubuntu environment, right? And then you have a very good understanding of some of the most important commands that you need for your day-to-day operations. So thank you so much for joining. Enjoy the rest of your week.